Apparently we're live. YouTube says we're live. Welcome to the first ever live Sunday Antisocial. It is 8:05 p.m. Eastern. I said we were going to start at 8. No one's here. Right? No one was breathlessly hitting refresh on their YouTube. Right? That's fine. I'm not ready to start anyway. I still have to get my pipe loaded up, and I live in squalor. Let's see. Walter Saran, how are you, sir? Let me put up some of this mess while we're waiting for others to join us. I was working on a guitar earlier this week and got all my spare parts. Put all this up. I'll cut myself or something. How you doing, Walter? So this is, I think, the first ever Sunday Antisocial live. I've done a couple of live videos, but they've all been drawn for gauze and stuff like that. And the reason I never do anything live is because my internet connection sucks. But I've upgraded it. So the question is going to be, will you guys notice the upgrade? How is it, Walter? Is the motion fluid? Does it feel like live, or does it feel really choppy? And so far you're the only one here, so this is going to be kind of awkward if it's just me talking to you. I mean, no offense or anything, but just email. Okay, looks good. All right, I will commence the pipe loading part of the show. Tonight I'm going to be smoking my J.M. Boswell 1016. I don't know what this means. Well, and you guys can't really see that either. Anyway, I'm going to be smoking this pipe. Danny Hicks, looks good, volume good, wonderful. Oh, Greg, how you doing? Wish I was playing Minecraft right now, man. Anyway, this is the pipe I'm going to be smoking. And I'm going to be smoking Northwoods, of course. I shouldn't be smoking. I'm still definitely feeling... what's up, Les? Still definitely feeling the cold. It was a month. And it sucked. And my wife hasn't gotten it yet. Kiddo, of course, had it, and then I got it. And it put me down for a couple of days. CS Spark, I see you there. Would you look at that? So anyway, I feel like this is the part of my process that you guys never see, the pipe loading. I don't really have a very good method anymore. I used to be pretty rigorous about my pipe loading method. No more. I just shove it in there and with my finger and smoke away. Hey, the long-time listener, first-time caller. Hello, Jenny. How are you? We'll see us, Sparks. Glad to have you around. Yes, I do sound better than I did on Sunday. That is true. What's up, Fireplug? So I don't see anywhere where it says, well, okay, I think we've got 10 people. We got 10 people in one like. I think that's definitely time to get going here. Of course, I spilled coffee on my laptop again as I was coming down. Hope that it works throughout the evening. Gonna need a tamper. Gonna need a lighter. I got matches right here. Gonna need some coffee. Got that. All right. We have 10 watchers, and let me go ahead and open up my Google Doc with all of your burning questions. Oh, okay. Google's gonna take a shit on me here. All right, come on. Oh, we got 4 comments on the video about the Antisocial going live. Let's see. Ask Gribbs questions in there before I move on. Typing Piper says, I won't be here because I'm working. Some people have gerbs. Jurbs. Typing Piper, maybe you would have a better gerb if you could spell. You could be an author or something. I don't know. All right, we do have an Ask Gribbs there. I think I'll pass in the live because in Europe it's a little too late. So this is Sergey Nuez. Sergey, I really hope that I didn't just butcher your name. But secondly, man, drink a Red Bull. You guys have Red Bull over there, right? Drink a Red Bull and stay up late. Anyway, the question goes like this. If you had the power to impose a single coordinated time for all the world, no time zones, which would it be? Wow. Wait, would it be based on GMT, and would it be base 12? Yeah, I guess it would just be based on GMT. And I guess it would. I don't. What would be better? What would be better? I mean, I guess you could go. You could go like you could figure out where the most people are and set all the times to fit their time zone. I guess. I'm not a big fan of time zones. I think that I think we should just get over it. Anyway, so let's read some comments here. This is going to be a challenge for the old Gribs here, getting all my disparate elements together. But I don't want to miss any comments anywhere. Whiskey, honey, lemon, and hot water is good for a cold. Yes, it is. Old Greg on the Minecraft server says he has come down with the sickness. Yeah, but Jenny was sick. Jenny was sick last week, right? So I'm pretty sure you got it from her and not from me. A live antisocial, Beer Skywalker. Live antisocial wasn't over. Yeah, I think. Ooh, Les is swinging. He's swinging the hard questions already. Okay, I think that this is going to be quite a different experience for all involved because I have no idea what I'm doing live, and I'm probably going to say something really offensive, screw it all up, ruin my entire YouTube career. That's my backup plan for the night. We'll see if I come up with a better one. I also think this is going to run a little long because I've got a lot of questions to get to, and it's evening. You know, I'm feeling kind of relaxed. I still haven't even lit the pipe yet. Mark, why? Ask Gribs, why is it that you stand? Why? Okay. We got some syntax. Okay. Why is it that you stand eating a slice of pizza, but send your cherub of a son to eat dry white toast? No. That's not quite accurate. Trying to mold him into Elwood Blues, I could do worse. If that is the case, that boy needs a hat and buckle tattoos. Yeah. Dry white toast. If I have another son, he'll want 4 fried chickens. So he was eating peanut butter toast. Much better than dry white toast. Level 50 shaman gets sick a lot. Thank you, Walter. I posted a link. I think it was Fireplug that posted something similar to that. And I posted a link to shaman sickness. Let's see if I can go back and find that link. Actually, it was pretty good. Shaman sickness is a thing which you don't know about until you become a level 50 shaman like me. Setting Sun Wellness .com is the website that describes shaman sickness. I don't know if I can do this with a straight face. All right. For an individual to become a shaman, he or she must be called to take on the role. This calling is typically not blissful, fun, nor healing. The shamanic filled with terrifying and nightmarish visions. Right, that fits. Okay, from the spirits. If a person is called to take on the responsibility of a shaman, they usually fall very ill to the brink of death. Yeah, okay. The shamanic illness, shamanic disease, or shamanic crisis is very typical occurrence among future shaman. What? No, I'm a veteran, experienced, weathered shaman here. Okay, that website's bullshit. All right, let's get to the live comments. We'll catch back up with later. Will we ever be novel from the last NaNoWriMo? Maybe. I might have a plan that involves that. But I'm making no point because that would mean I would have to actually edit that novel, and I might today have realized why the whole novel sucks, which is that it's a bad story and the characters aren't likable. So maybe. That's a definite maybe. I have thought of serializing it on my blog or something like that. Old Greg, she wasn't sick, she was hungover. That's different. Bearded Skywalker says, if you could fish anywhere, any lake, where would it be? Well, it would be on some pristine lake in Canada next to a wildfire. And the wildfire would be burning down stacks of Northwoods. I wouldn't have to hold the pipe in my mouth, but the smoke would keep the bugs down and be delicious. Yeah, Beer Skywalker says, damn spelling. I know it's going to be hard for me because normally I read through the questions off camera and so I'm primed. I'm able to skip over. Sorry, I had to open. I had to skip over. I'm able to skip over the typos and stuff. So I'm going to be playing catch up this whole time. I know it. I'm really stressed out actually. Better drink more coffee. That'll help. All right, let's get over to the document here with all of your questions on it. Come on, man. Come on. I'm paying tens of dollars for this internet connection here. All right. So what are y'all people sitting around smoking a pipe? I mean, y'all better be smoking pipes. What else are you smoking? Come on, load the document. Probably really should have done this before I started the video. Norbo's gonna knock off her percentage point. What's up, London Calling with Simon? Good morning. What time is it there? So I would know this if I would just pull up the time zones. All right. So we had a bunch of questions. I think we had like 3 pages of questions this week. And so I once again will apologize for the illness below on Sunday. I was not able, I would not have been able to make it through this video on Sunday. Idaho Rick, and I haven't sorted these actually. I don't know if anyone asked a question who does not have a penis. Let me just scroll through here real quick and see if there is a hashtag no penis question. Yes, yeah, okay, glad I did that. I think for the rest of this, we're going to go with live comments taking priority over these old comments, and that way people get their questions answered quickly. It's 1:17 in London. Les Brady is smoking a cigar. I would find that. Cherry Bomb, Bearded Skywalker. Cherry Bomb, that like the Joan Jett song. Old Greg, his tastes just get more stout with time. Burley, Virginia, and C&D, Darkfire, Kentucky. Okay, Herferville. I believe there's no penis involved in Herferville. You think a husband? By the way, for those of you just tuning in, if you are a lady, your question goes to the front of the line, and that is the import of there being a penis or not on the asker of the question. Also, YouTube often marks my comments comments to people leave me as spam, and just go to the front of the line. We're none this week. So Herferville asks, do you think a husband should get a gift for his wife for Mother's Day since he's the father of his child? Yes, I do, and I think that in fact that makes when it's your own mother, you don't have any recollection of the process, but when it's your wife, you saw all now. Like you definitely need to get. I mean, and in my case, right, because our birth was traumatic, and so in my case, when you walk into the room, right, and your wife is laying there on a bed, and there's a hole in her abdomen, and her intestines are laying on a sheet next to her, you really have a moment of like realizing that you're never ever going to be arguing on a level plane ever again. Like for the rest of your life, she can always be like, they took my intestines out. So yes, a husband should get his wife a gift for Mother's Day. If your wife and your mother hate each other, and you could only take one out for a meal, which would you choose to take? Well, this is easy for me right now because I have a 4-year-old, so we never go out. So that would mean I would have to choose my mom because she doesn't have a 4-year-old, and I could actually take a time out and take her out to a nice restaurant and say Happy Mother's Day. I guess you're a pretty good mom, but they didn't take your intestines out. All right, so Idaho Rick asks Gribbs, will there be a new Bothy build this year or a return to the old Bothy? I love the idea of a quiet place in the woods to relax in. I plan on finding my own quiet corner of the forest near me. Idaho Rick, I wish you success. Let's see who's logged in here. Pipe Tree, just finished Pipe Tree, what are you smoking? And London Collins says he's just finished an HDM Double Corona, one of the best cigars I've ever had. Very good. Okay, and we have a live question. That'll be next. So I'm like a radio disc jockey here. Now, I must take 15 minutes into this program. I must stop and point out that we have 17 people here, but only 4 likes. Whoever you 13 are that don't like me, welcome. I hope I'll change your mind. I don't know why you're here if you don't. Anyway, so get back to let's get back to Idaho Rick's question. So here's the deal, and I was going to save this. I'm just ruining future content for my channel because I was going to save this for an upcoming video. The bothy is still the bothy. It's still there. It's still in the woods. It's still a nice little spot. The condemned woods that I've been exploring recently are now gone. They were condemned for a reason, and across the ridge over there, they're building an HVAC manufacturing facility, and so they've gone and they've cut down all the fucking trees where I found those antlers and where I was having such a good time exploring. That is now gone. It remains to be seen if there will be any access to that, because there was a lot of stuff past it that I could get to that I actually had some ideas for. It was all posted land, though. But yeah, we'll see if I have any access to that in the future. The deal with the bothy is they're going to build a nature trail right beside the bothy. And by they, I mean the people that I guess own that land. I still don't, when I look at the GIS maps, I tell exactly who owns that plot. And so, but either way, it's an industrial owner, and one of those industries is going to build a nature trail that's basically going to go right by the bothy. So I am reluctant. They've already put in part of the nature trail. I'm going to do a video about this. I'm reluctant to build anything more there. And I have reached a point in my bushcraft career, my outdoors journey, where I don't really have a lot to do if I can't build or burn. And I don't want to go to the bothy and start a fire. It's close to houses. It's close to industry. It's not close enough to water that I could, put it out. And I don't want to carry water back there. I've got to get to this place. I've got to walk through my own neighborhood. So if I'm walking around with like a backpack full of water, people will take note. And then when they see smoke coming up, like right in the woods behind their houses, they'll definitely take note of that too. So it's not really a place where I feel comfortable lighting a fire. Also, I just don't want to light a fire on someone else's land, just because that's not really right. So I've kind of outgrown the bothy. However, it's still among the places that I go when I take walks in the woods, which I haven't in a few days because I've been sick. I still walk around out there and check in on it, and I hope that it will fulfill its namesake. I hope that it will be a structure for whoever needs it, the skull eaters or whoever, wild animals. Thank you for the question. I would like to get into some more builds, and I have some ideas about that, but right now they're a little far-fetched. So let's get to the live comments. Let's check over here. Okay, that was, what was that? Wait, did I miss that one? Thank you, Lemon Calling with Simon. Have a good night. Pipe Tree is smoking Summertime 2018 from Peterson. They just came for the Pop-Tarts. All right, C Sparks. Ask Gribbs. C Sparks B56. I don't want to abbreviate when I shouldn't. Ask Gribbs, what are you doing to contribute to the efforts to stop global warming and from its imminent demise? It's a good question. If you had asked me this question several years ago, I would have said nothing, because I don't believe in it. I would have said that I didn't feel that there was a scientific consensus, that I did feel that enough political motivation to taint the data, whatever data was legitimately collected. There was enough of a political motivation to make me very suspect of it, to be honest with you. And even if I weren't suspect of the idea of climate change, global warming, even if I weren't suspect of that, I would still think that the environmentalist movement made a big mistake putting all their eggs in that basket, because there are things that concern me much more than temperature rising a degree or two. I understand why that's a big deal. But when you're Al Gore trying to sell, oh, the temperature is going to rise a degree, no one cares. People can't understand that. They can't get behind it, right or wrong. They can't get their brains around that. What they can get their brains around is bugs are dying. There have been a study that suggests there's a massive insect die-off. There's a massive species die-off. We're losing by, and those things people can understand and are more likely to rally around. And a bacon brown sugar Pop-Tart? No. Where did I come up with bacon? We need to see a brown sugar Pop-Tart. Why did I read bacon? It doesn't matter. Apparently I'm old and sick. All right. Okay, we'll get to it. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. I'm pontificating here. But you're not asking me that several years ago. You're asking me now. Here's what I do. I drive a fuel-efficient car, and I generally try not to be wasteful. I don't want to buy carbon offsets. That feels a lot like selling indulgences to me. Is that a thing? I know they were talking about that 10 years ago. Oh, we can sell carbon offsets. But again, it's. I would like to think that I support progress in society in ways that take us away from fossil fuels. Support nuclear power? No, I don't. No, I don't support anything. I'm not out there like waving a pro-nuclear power sign or anything. I just have the opinion that nuclear power is probably the only way we're going to advance as a species if we don't use it to kill ourselves. It's a pretty dark place to go this early. Man, a normal antisocial would be over by now. 22 minutes in? Okay, moving on. Yeah, I think it's a real problem. I'm convinced that there's legitimacy to the problem. I'm convinced that we do need to take drastic action, Green New Deal or whatever, as a species, but I have no hope that we will actually do that until we get our more immediate, gotta save the fish, see Sparks, our more immediate problems like, well, anything in the news today on Wednesday, the 15th of May, 2019. There's lots of stuff going on today. I think that we won't reach any sort of actionable consensus on this until it's probably too late to do anything. That sounds like humanity. All right. Old Greg says you need to see a Pop-Tart. So this is going to be a little bit, I'm telling all kinds of secrets tonight. This is going to be a little bit difficult because I am not eating sugar right now. Wasn't going to mention it. I was just going to start chewing on the desk here and figured you guys could, sort that out. Let me see if I have a stock photo on me. Yeah, actually, hang on. Just for legitimacy's sake here, for transparency, let's find my stock photo. Typing Piper sent me that big giant box of brown sugar Pop-Tarts, and where's my Pop-Tart photo? Okay, here we go. Just so you know, I'm on the up and up here. Well, you can see it. There you go. Wouldn't want you to think otherwise. I took a really nice photo of that back charts, and then my phone deleted it. Like I took it actually on my professional camera and moved it to my phone. My phone deleted it, so I need to move it back onto the phone. So. Once again, hey, we got 18 people and 14 likes, so there's still 4 of you out there that are hate watching me. I understand. That's okay. Old Greg question was making sure you hadn't fallen off the sugar wagon. Oh, yeah, I told Old Greg about my sugar situation, which is that I began to feel very addicty around sugar, and so I decided no more. Today was rough. I keep thinking I'm over it. I'm like, oh, deal now. Like I don't need sugar, and I've gotten pretty used to stuffing my face with things that don't have sugar in them. When I'm craving sugar, I can just eat 14 biscuits. Anyway, I took my kid to get a haircut today, which was a traumatic experience. And afterwards, his reward was getting ice cream. And he was like super tired, and he did that rest until he was about 2 years old, and like he didn't want to actually use the spoon to eat the ice cream, so he's like leaning forward and eating it with his mouth off the table. And I'm like, no, here. And I'm like feeding him ice cream with a spoon, and I'm like, I can't do this right now. Like I cannot. No, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to eat ice cream because if I'm that close to it for any longer, I'm gonna eat it. And it was quite a moment. It was quite a triumph of the. That's not the right phrase for that, but it was a. I was proud of myself that I threw the ice cream across the room and made him cry instead of eating it. All right, John Waxaroni says. Oh yeah, this is a good one. He says, "Well, Mr. Sicko, I feel your pain and hope you feel better. No question, but a personal observation. You are a good pop. When you picked up your little guy, you could see the love in his eyes. No question, sick or not." Thank you, John. I appreciate you pointing that out, especially because this morning, as soon as his mother left for work, he pointed at me, and he said, "I want Mama instead of you." Thanks, John. Appreciate that. Contemplative Piper asked Gribbs, referring to the video of the what's up, Wayne? Referring to the video of the turkey versus groundhog face-off. That turkey is clearly trying to be a goose. Will you wage war on it? Yes, I will. Absolutely. I think that a turkey is a perfectly legitimate bird. Geese are sent straight from hell, right? Turkeys, as long as they act like turkeys, I'm fine with them. They're great. They taste good, and they're beautiful. If they start acting like geese, it's all fair game. Grant Reynard asked Gribbs, what is the best pizza topping? In Canada, we have Canadian pizza. Bacon, mushrooms, and maple syrup. Maples, really? Excuse me. Well, that sounds very special, Grant. I could get behind that if not for the mushrooms. I can't do the mushroom thing. Everybody, apparently morels are in season or something right now. Everybody's like posting these pictures, all the bushcrafters and stuff on Instagram of posting pictures of morels, and I'm just like, ugh. So, best pizza topping. And I'm starting to get the feeling that I'm going to need to ration my voice. Best pizza topping is pepperoni. If I had to pick one topping, you got to have pepperoni on a pizza. I mean, other than cheese. Some people make pizza without cheese. Those people should be marginalized. This is America, where pizza is from. We put cheese on it. American cheese on our pizzas, even if it's not actually American cheese, because that's disgusting. So, cheese and pepperoni, I think, are like, it's not even a pizza without cheese and pepperoni. Next, I would have to say, very, very spicy grilled chicken. Had some great pizzas with grilled chicken. But there is one pizza that is made here in my town, and it's called the Cuban, I believe. And it is, it's ham and plantains, fried plantains. It's pretty awesome. It's a heart attack waiting to happen, but it's pretty awesome. Tickety Boo says, I see you're eating 3-day-old pizza. What's the worst thing you have ever eaten? That's going to take some thought. The thing that immediately comes to mind was the time that I went on a scout trip. I think I was in 7th grade. We went spelunking in Mammoth Cave. No, that was a different time. We went spelunking in Sweetwater Cave. And that's not something you should really take a bunch of 7th graders to do. Looking back on that now, I question the wisdom of that trip. The things I remember from that trip are, number one, spelunking in Sweetwater Cave. And they took us into the part of the cave where normal people aren't allowed to go. And there was like 300-foot drops that they're just down a hole. Like there's a hole like this big, and it just goes straight down 300 feet because of like water dripping in one spot for 20, whatever. And you just have to crawl past it. Like there's nothing keeping you from falling in there. They're just like, yeah, don't fall in that hole. That's like 300 feet down into the ground, and we're already like a quarter mile under the surface of the earth. You shouldn't do that with seventh graders. Anyway, I do remember we were camping outside the cave, and some of the elder scouts, the older boys, cooked a wild onion and made me eat it, telling me that it was like scout food. Like if you're going to be a real scout, you have to eat wild onions, and that was pretty damn bad. I know people eat ramps and love them. I do not eat ramps, and I don't love them. But I think ramps at least are food. Wild, not food. So that was close. I have to say, I would rather. Oh man. Oh, Danny, you. Oh, all right. Okay. See, the other thing about this is, if you're just tuning in, half an hour into this, I have to answer questions. I'm bound by shamanic law to answer these questions, and I try not to talk about politics, although that might change too. And Danny Hicks here he's stirring the pot. Anyway, Pfeffernusse. I would rather eat a wild onion cooked over a camp stove, or even raw, than Pfeffernusse. If you don't know what Pfeffernusse is, it's indescribably horrible, is what it is. It's if you don't like anise, you will not like Pfeffernusse. So let's see if I can even find Pfeffernusse. Yeah, okay. Let's see what it says about it. Recipes. No, I don't want recipes for that shit. It ought to be as contraband as mustard gas. Okay. Tiny spice cookies, popular as a holiday treat in Germany, Denmark, and the Netherlands, as well as Mennonites in North America. They are called pepernoten in Dutch. That's a plural word. And papanat in Platditch. I don't know what that. Okay. The exact origin of the cookies is uncertain. They're goose shit from the geese from hell. Traditional Dutch belief links the pepernoten to the feast of Sinterklaas, celebrated on the 5th of December or December 16th, December 6th, Germany, Belgium, blah, blah, blah. This is when children receive gifts from St. Nicholas. Wait a minute. No, that's not when that's Christmas. God. All right. So let's find out what Sinterklaas is, actually. Sinterklaas, patron Saint. Okay. All right. Some other day. We'll get Type and Piper in here, and we'll talk about Sinterklaas. Sinterklaas. So it's like, wasn't that a Rammstein album? All right, Danny Hicks, Ask Gribbs, hashtag Ask Gribbs. Here we go. Did you see the story on Jerry Falwell Jr. and the pool boy? If not, check it out and respond in Sunday's Antisocial. I'm not going to respond in Sunday's Antisocial. I'm figuring most people, when they watch this, they won't get this far into this video, so we can go ahead and talk about this now. Christmas comes early for the Dutch. Why? Why do they? Whatever. Okay. So the story is, let me see if I can recount this as faithfully as possible. The story is, Michael Cohen, everyone's favorite lawyer, before he was taken to prison the other day, let slip by someone else, actually, about Michael Cohen, that Michael Cohen was in possession. Michael Cohen was in possession of photographs. Apparently, he's a collector of photographs. And he has collected some photographs of Mr. and Mrs. Falwell Jr. Jerry Falwell is the president of Liberty University, which is the largest Christian university in the world, I believe, certainly in America. And he is the son of Jerry Falwell Sr., who was a crazy religious nut job, I think is the best way of putting it. I mean, I'm not trying to knock the guy's religion, but he was he was into the end times, and they were coming, and then they didn't. So I think if you predict the end times on a certain time, day, whatever, and then it doesn't come, you're in the nut job category, right? Like up until then, I don't make fun of you, but after that, come on. You kind of open yourself up to it. Anyway, so his son now runs Liberty University, and his son has a wife. And apparently, there were some photos taken of them, and they were the photos, quoting Michael Cohen here, that they would like to keep between husband and wife. They were racy photos. So nobody knows what these photos are of, except we do know that Michael Cohen is still in possession of at least one of these photos. Now, it turns out that Jerry Falwell Jr. came to Michael Cohen to ask for his help. So, rule number one, never ask Michael Cohen for help in anything. like if your tire is flat and it's 3 in the morning and you're parked next to a haunted house and Michael Cohen drives by and is like, hey, I think you're going to get killed by like a giant Leatherface chainsaw wielding guy, then you say no. Thank you, Mr. Cohen. Have a nice night. So anyway, Falwell went to Cohen for help. Cohen said, of course I can help you. Wouldn't it be a shame if these photos were made public? And so apparently Cohen fixed some sort of situation for Mr. Falwell. Coincidentally, totally by coincidence, around the same time, Donald Trump was running for president. He had a real problem. He had the Iowa caucus coming up, and the evangelicals were a little spooky. They didn't really know if they wanted to get behind this guy who's like a serial adulterer. He's got relationships with porn stars. The Access Hollywood tape, I think, had not yet come out, actually. But obviously, he was not of the character that an evangelical would typically support. But around that time, oddly enough, coinciding exactly with when Michael Cohen was in possession of these photos, Jerry Falwell Jr. Gave Trump a ring, and it always struck everyone as odd. Am I right in this story so far, Danny Hicks? We haven't gotten to the pool boy yet, but it's coming. Always struck everyone as odd that should happen. Anyway, it appears now we might have a little bit of an explanation. Trump, of course, was friends with the guy that ran the National Enquirer, which, by the way, is in the business of publishing racy photos from people in the public eye. Anyway, you do a little bit of digging, and you find out that a little bit before, Jerry Falwell Jr. gave in an extended loan $1.8 million to a pool boy in Miami to help him start a business. $1.8 million to a pool boy, 21-year-old pool boy. I mean, if I had $1.8 million and I was going to loan it to someone to start a business, I don't think a 21-year-old anyone, but certainly not a pool attendant, excuse me. I don't want to be politically. Anyway, the point is, there was an affidavit, there was some testimony back and forth, and it turns out that Mr. His wife befriended this pool attendant in Miami at a ritzy hotel and ended up giving him $1.8 million. So, I mean, I've never been in the mafia. I don't really know what blackmail sounds like, but I have read a couple of novels, and that's like to me. So, yeah, basically, the whole reason Donald Trump is president is because he got evangelical support because he got Michael Cohen to blackmail Jerry Falwell after the pool boy had already Jerry Falwell over these pictures that I bet the pool boy took himself. And I bet if we dug even deeper, and I'm sure people are digging, I bet that pool boy has spent some time east of the Iron Curtain, shall we say. So, thank you, Danny Hicks, for bringing all of that up. Let's get back to your questions. And yes, I am following that story. And wow. Okay, people are talking about pipes now. Boring. Actually, I had a dream last night about doing this video, and I was like, I ran out of stuff to talk about, and I was like, I guess I'll just have to like talk about tobacco or something. And I did, and it was really fun. And I was like, man, I should talk about pipes and tobacco on my pipe channel. All right, I don't see any more live questions. I see you guys just talking about Frog Morton. Yeah, so where is the Frog Morton these days? Wait. Bird's Eye Briar is offering a 100-gram tin, 2015. Is it Bird's Eye Briar? Is it just regular old Frog Morton, or is it like across the pond, or around on the town, or brick and mortar prices? $42. Okay. Oh, okay. Old Greg's wheeling and dealing. Never mind. Okay. I'm gonna step out of that. Okay, so we have some more people. We're now up to 20. Only 14 have liked, so the other 6 must be Russian bots. Okay, so we'll get back to the Ask Gribs questions that I have stored up here. This was on one of my squirrel videos, which I affectionately call my rifle hiking videos because we never actually shoot any squirrels. So Grant Reynard, who I believe is still in the chat room here. Yes. Says, my father hunts squirrels. My mother did too until she forgot to open the window before firing. Let the drafts in come winter. When my dad is blasting away at squirrels, it disquiets my young kid. If they witness it, both being raised until recently in urban landscapes, these sports are new to them. Ask Gribs any recommendations on how to explain Grandpa's blood sports to an 8-year-old. I tried. That squirrel must have made Grandpa mad, but he smiles too much for that excuse to seem believable. Maybe I should ask him to curse a bit and say, no. Grant, here's the deal. Squirrels are coming to kill us all. Grandpa, that's the thing. That's the only way that an 8-year-old can understand it. You know, we were just talking about Santa Claus a second. They might believe that till they're what, 12? And then you can come up with something. But by 12, they'll be playing Call of Duty and they'll be shooting people. You know, no big deal. Over a pipe. Oh boy, an over a pipe question. Here we go. Oh yeah. I did actually read this one when it came through. When it came across the transom, if that's a thing. 14. Oh, maybe the 14 likes. No. There's 15 likes now. They're all legitimate. I double checked. There's no hacking of my like system at all. Not at all. Russian bots. Pipe artist Steph and Farik Piper Skip Kane. Is that one person? That must be one person. I'm going to click on your. It doesn't take me anywhere. I really want to know who you are. I've never seen you before. And that convinces me that you're a Russian bot, actually. Fear the squirrels. Yes. Okay. My kids stopped believing it's Santa at 5 and 3. Well, that makes me kind of feel like a sap because I was in until I was at least like 7 or 8. I was hook, line, and sinker. All right. I was just doing something. You know, I'm going to drink my coffee for a second. Just take a breath here. My voice is getting a little ragged. It's a little hot, but I dare not take off the lid and let it cool down because I'll spill it on my laptop. Again, I bought a new keyboard for my laptop because last week, or a week and a half ago, I spilled coffee on it and fried it. Over a pipe, Ask Gribs. In a society where the struggle to persevere is at the core of all success in achieving the American dream, is rehab for quitters? No, and I'm going to give you a serious answer. Rehab is for some of the strongest people among us. I would like to think, yes, they're trying to quit drugs, but I think it's more that they're trying to stop quitting life. How about that? And then he asks, the Smashing Pumpkins used chimes out of My Hometown for one of their songs. Can you recall which song has a chime in it? Over the pipe, over a pipe, pipe it over, whatever your name is. Listen, I don't take kindly to you questioning my Smashing Pumpkins enthusiasm, my devotion to the band, everything up until Melancholy. All right, the songs that I can think of that have chimes are Disarm, which would be the hit single with chimes. But one that first came to mind is an obscure song called Christmas Time. And if you haven't heard it, it's a great Christmas song. I know, isn't that weird? Smashing Pumpkins Christmas song. But that one, I first heard that one in the late 90s. That might actually be, we're going to have to find out. I can't leave that hanging. Smashing Pumpkins Christmas Time. I want to say it was an Adore era song. Isn't Wikipedia great? Wait, no, this is just the Wikipedia article for Christmas. Smashing Pumpkins from the album A Very Special Christmas 3, released in 97. Adore came out in 98, I believe. So that would be pre-Adore, post. It would be okay. That we could consider that canon, I think, because surely if it didn't come out until this compilation album, yeah, it's canon. It's canon. Anyway, Smashing Pumpkins for life. Walter, I'm sorry that this is how you had to find out that there is no Santa. Should put a spoiler alert thing up there. 45 minutes video. Okay. We're not even off the first page of my questions here. Oh boy. I always see these live videos from everybody and like, man, they went like an hour and a half and like, okay. I don't know who you people are talking to. Coffee Boy. Check us out. Coffee Boy. Have you noticed how many Santa lookalikes smoke pipes? Yeah, I have. And doesn't Santa himself smoke a pipe? Doesn't the smoke ring his noggin like a wreath or something like that? Okay. You're just a rat in a cage that's been there since 1979. You know, Bullet with Butterfly Wings, if I could delete one song from the canon, it would be that one. And really, it's not that bad a song. I don't particularly like the arrangement that's done on Melancholy. When they played it live, it was significantly more awesome. I think that's the most hipster thing I've ever said. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of Bullet with Butterfly Wings, and I think it casts them in an unfortunate light. Anyway, Smashing Pumpkins and Santa Claus just released an album called Russian Bots. It's fantastic. Grant, you've got to be kidding. Okay, so Grant Reynard says, someone gave my kid The Night Before Christmas and they edited out the pipe smoking by Santa. How sad. Is that, did they really? The Night Before Christmas pipe edit. No. Oh, it's true. Okay, this is from some sort of Gannett publication. York Daily Record. York where? York is North Carolina. Okay, breaking news for Santa. No more smoking. A new version of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas has Saint Nick without his beloved pipe tobacco. A newsreader tip alerted me to this story a few weeks ago, but I didn't realize the backlash was so widespread. The self-published Pamela McCall of Vancouver, Canada, has a mission for her story to protect children and their parents from the of smoking. She mortgaged her house and sunk $200,000 into her telling of the 189-year-old holiday poem, touring the states to promote it ahead of its September release. What did she do? She excised these lines. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. See, I remember that from when I was 4 years old. She added to the cover, edited by Santa Claus for the benefit of children in the 21st. Is this a joke? Are you? I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Number one, Santa Claus. Even if pipe smoking is as bad as they say it, Santa Claus is immortal. He doesn't have to worry about tongue cancer. God. Okay. I bought a copy of that book for my kid, and I'm gonna have to go find out if that's the case in our copy, and if so, it will be recycled, and I will find a vintage copy. All right. You know, it's not even like I'm not even one of these people that's like super duper pro tobacco. Like I just enjoy smoking my pipe, and I'm not in it for political reasons. But damn, like of all the most harmlessest things ever, and that article I just referenced makes the point. Like, so are we gonna like take out the when he laughs, his belly shakes full of jelly, like because of obesity, like because that's definitely more harmful than pipe smoking. All right. Yes, Perique Piper Skip, sad days. Wait, weren't Perique Piper Skip? Weren't you just part of a duo? Yeah, pipe artist Steph and Parikh Piper Skip. So did you guys like just separate your accounts a second ago? Excuse me. We're down to 17 people, y'all. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. Oh, we got 16 likes though, so only one of you is a Russian bot now. Let's get back over to the questions. Grant Reynard found a half-rotten dead deer in the woods and thought of you. Oh, thank you. So even if you're trending downward, you got that going for you. I'm sure zombie deer are those noises in the woods. If that's true, hashtag Ask Gribs. Does that change your blunt weapon choice? Yes. If I'm being attacked by a zombie deer, and by the way, I believe Typing Piper was attacked by some zombie deer this week. I would rather have a pitchfork than anything else because they're coming at you with antlers, right? So you need a distance, and a pitchfork would stop them in their tracks. Well, probably not. It would probably just help them knock you over. But they would engage with the antlers. It would keep them away from you. Now it's still only one weapon, So like while you've got one zombie deer pinned, what are you going to do about the others? The does. What are you going to do about the does? I don't know. Okay. Contemplative Piper asked Gribs. I believe. Yeah. Okay. I believe the coffee from my local shop is the best in the world. If I sent you some, would you try it? It's Little River Roasting Brand in Spartanburg. Contemplative Piper, please persuade me of the notion that nothing good comes from Spartanburg. Yes, I would love it if you would send it, and I would try it on camera. Ziggy Num Nums has asked me to go through my coffee practice, my process about pour over coffee, and I believe I saw a video from him this week about pour over coffee. So yeah, if you want to send that to me, let me know. I will happily brew up some with my pour over on camera and taste it. Contemplative Piper, ask Ribs, would you rather have snakes for fingers or bats for ears? Snakes for fingers. Definitely snakes for fingers. Because bats make noises, and if they are your ears, wait a minute. I was going to say if they are your ears, you're never going to get that high pitched squeaking out of your head, right? But on the other hand, if the bats are your ears, do you get their extra special sense of hearing, like with echolocation and stuff like that? Echolocution? Gotta be echolocation. It's gotta be. I should know. I'll look it up later. Once I hit a bat with my fly rod, it's a tense moment. I have a great bat story that I can't remember if I've ever told it on this channel. But if I get the hearing, I want the bats for ears. Otherwise, I want the snakes with fingers, just because like you could win any argument with that. Like you get involved with some parking space, you just take your hands out of your pockets. Just oh yeah, really? What are you gonna do about it? I got snakes for fingers. All right, Contemplative Piper asked Gribs if you had 37 miniature ponies. I love the combat questions. If you had to fight 37 miniature ponies in arena combat, what ancient weapon would you choose? Battle axe. I mean, I guess a melee. I'd go with a battle axe. But the first thing I would do is try to ride one of the ponies. So then you got the advantage over the other ponies. Not much of an advantage because it's miniature. You'd have to be at least going a little faster, right? I don't know. Ziggy Num Nums, cool to know that you're into pour over coffee. Is this a thing to be into? To me, it's just like it takes up less counter space, Mr. Coffee, that I had before. So I didn't know. I mean, I guess I probably assumed there were coffee nerds out there that were like super. Yeah, I'll be getting a rig of my own soon. A rig. Care to walk us through your process and setup? Yes, I will happily do that. It's very simple, but I will do that. Amy McMaxters. Amy. And see, this is live, so I can't edit that out. McMaxters. Amy McMasters, also known as Amy Mac. Hashtag Gribs Coffee. Will you make and drink dandelion coffee? Let me Google that first. Dandelion coffee. See, normally I do all this stuff off camera. Okay, so that's a thing. Herbal tea used as a coffee supplement. Wait a minute, it's tea. It's tea, Amy Mac. Herbal tea used as a coffee substitute made from the roots of the dandelion plant. Sure, why not? Why wouldn't I do it? Is it bad for you? I think dandelions are supposed to be pretty good. This is the time of year, right? I look at my watch. This is the time of year for dandelions. Research for possible role in cancer treatment. It's horrible if someone blah 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 blah. Okay, come on, screw that. After harvesting, the roots are dried, ground into granules, steeped in boiling water. Harvesting dandelion roots requires differentiating true dandelions from other yellow daisy-like flowers such as cat's ear and hawksbeard. What if you don't differentiate? Well, I mean, do the cat's ear and hawksbeard kill you? True dandelions have a ground-level rosette of deep-toothed leaves and hollow straw-like stems. Large plants that are 3 to 4 years old, approximately 1.5 inches in diameter, are harvested. No, I don't think we've got any 3 to 4 year old dandelions around here. Similar in appearance to pale carrots. I'm in, though. I'm in. I might try that. All right, let's check for live questions. We do. We have several. Two. We have two. We have one. Never mind. Okay, so Pipe Artist Steph and Parikh Piper Skip, which I think are different people, but I really don't. I don't know. This is like when you never see two people in the same room at the same time and you start to wonder, like if they're anyway. Pipe Artist Steph says the phone is charging, which explains why they are posting from two different accounts, I guess. I love our pour over and French press. We don't own a coffee maker. So would you call your pour over a rig? Are you serious enough about it to call it a rig? Things I have called a rig in the past. My guitar, my ham radio setup. Probably I've used it for my cameras too. And I've never called my fishing rig a rig, but I would say I'm rigged up. And about all those things, I'm a serious nerd. So yeah, I guess. Okay, we do have a couple of questions here. I guess coffee nerds are out there. Pour over thing, which maybe I'm a coffee nerd and don't even know it. CS Sparks B56. Ask Gribbs, waffles or pancakes? Waffles, no question. Definitely waffles. Danny Hicks, thank you. He says live is great. Congrats. I appreciate that. All due to the brand new internet connection. Parikh Piper Skip asks, grape nuts or grape nut flakes? I'm going to go with grape nuts on this because any sort of flaky fiber cereal reminds me of Fiber One flakes, with which I had a very bad experience one time. And we'll leave it at that. Bird's Eye Briar says, I used a pour over till I tried good French press. See, that's the kind of stuff I don't want to hear because I don't need another hobby. I don't need to spend money. What's up, Sea Smoke Pipes? I don't need to spend more money on things that I consume. This is already expensive. And my coffee is not cheap either. But damn, it's good. Damn, it's good. All right, let me relight here. What were we talking about? Right, next question. Amy Mack. Given the machete, hatchet, to do a demonstration of each on the melons of his choice. I would love to, but those freaking watermelons are $8 right now. Okay. National average price of watermelon. Are watermelons like publicly traded or whatever? I wanted an easy answer. Per cup. No, I'm not going to smash a cup of watermelon. Screw this. Okay. Greg Patterson, I've never seen you eat the fish you catch. Why? I can't remember if you like to eat it or not. Please. We talk about this fairly regularly. I do not particularly like to eat freshwater fish. It's not my favorite. I do like saltwater fish. But trout, which is the fish that I mostly target, tastes kind of bland to me. And sometimes bland and also gamey at the same time, if that can be accomplished. I have once had, and it may be a difference in taste between the wild trout and the stocker trout. Once had a wild trout, and it was freaking delicious, but it was literally cooked on the side of the river, like catch and cook within 5 minutes. And it was absolutely delicious. But I don't want to kill. I feel like the stock trout are stocked for me to kill and eat. And so when I eat them, I eat the stockers. I eat them probably twice a year. I haven't had any this year. I need to do that. Which brings me to the next thing I need to tell you guys. There's all kinds of stuff going on in the old melon. Surely watermelons are cheaper than that at the Asheville Farmers Market. Yeah, but they're filled with dope. Did you ever try Medaglia d'Oro decaf? I couldn't find it. All right, let's see. Medaglia d'Oro decaf. I found it online. I'm thinking I remember now, but they don't have it in my local grocery store. $5.29 can. Okay. All right. Now we're talking. Well, let's just add that to the cart. Okay. Perique Piper Skip. Nope, not a rig. Post-apocalyptic coffee is all. Because it doesn't take a lot of machinery to make it. Is that, I guess? I mean, to me, it just seems to be a simpler process to get the exact same thing. And so it just kind of makes sense to me. Grant is going fishing for herring in about 2 hours, waiting for the tide to drop while listening to Gribbs. There, Grant. Okay, and back over here to the scripted questions, or not scripted, but already asked questions. We're down to the last page. Tacos and French fries. Ask Gribbs. Speaking of rock concerts, what are your thoughts on the retirement of the rock band Rush? Not soon enough. I am not a fan of Rush, and I don't really have a big thing against Rush. I just don't really know much about them. And okay, I do know that they're Satan worshipers, right? That's a thing. I'm joking, of course. Rush, satanic, because Satan prog rock. Imagine disciples of Satan. It says it right here on the internet. Because of the pentagram on one of their album covers, right? Oh yeah. Oh, they're definitely. Oh man, I've never. You can't have a mustache like that and not worship Satan. You know what I mean? It's like John Bolton. So Michael Bolton, did he have a mustache too? Illuminati confirmed. All right. Yeah, I don't really know enough about Rush. Prog rock is meh. That's kind of what I think. It's like it doesn't groove. It's got no groove to it. Prove me wrong. Post a link to a Rush song that's got a groove, and I'll listen to it here. And if it makes me dance, I will like Rush. All right, which brings us to our last question, which again is a music question. Beard, who is probably sound asleep right now and not one of the 17 people watching with 18 likes. How's that even? Whatever. Okay. Beard. Excuse me. Beard asked Gribbs. Christian rock. Why is it even a thing? I don't know why. I find that so funny. That's a good one. Okay, so let me give you an answer. I'm going to give you a long answer to this question. Somebody posted. I noticed. I can't remember who it was, but somebody posted a comment about Christian rock was for musicians that couldn't make it in the industry, and so it gives them an outlet to try to play to a different audience. I once knew a guy. I worked with him at the music store, and I knew a guy who was very religious. I don't think he ever predicted the end of the world, and so I won't. I'm not making fun of him. I admire devotion to one's beliefs, sort of. Anyway, he wanted to be a musician, but he was too religious to be allowed to play in bars. He wouldn't go play in a place where there was alcohol. At the same time, he belonged to a certain sect of Christianity that believed that music must not be, instruments must not be used in praise music, that all praise music should be a cappella. And that there was some biblical passage that they cited for believing that. Even though I can definitely think of times when instruments were used in the Bible, but whatever. That's what they believed. So this guy wanted to be a musician, but he can't play in bars or church. So he's not a musician now. I mean, you're kind of screwed at that point, right? Like, there's just, where else do you either play music when you're sinning or repenting from the sin? So I don't know. Christian rock. I did one time go to a Billy Graham crusade. I was maybe a freshman in high school, and I went. There was some. It was not my church. It was a church my friends went to, and they said, "We're going to this crusade. You want to come?" And I was like, "Why not?" My dad was a fan of Billy Graham, and he said, "Yeah, you should go. You know, you should see this. No matter what, you can." Church of Christ that believes in. Okay, Beer Skywalker says church without instruments. Why? Do you know why? Do you know the specific verse? So my dad, you know, he was not. He was not in agreement with Billy Graham and everything, but he said, you know, this guy is a historic minister. You need to see him. And so I accepted the offer to go to the Billy Graham crusade. And my memory from that is the crusade part of things was not. It was like 30% of the show, and the rest was a band called Jars of Clay. And what was the other band? It was Jars of Clay and and at the time I thought, yeah, you know, these guys, they're okay. They rock pretty good. But you know who's a Christian rock band that no one really talks about is U2. U2 is actually a very spiritual band, and I mean, I assume that if you pinned them down, they wouldn't really want to identify themselves that way. But if you listen to their lyrics, I mean, the Joshua Tree is infused with Christian and all that. The point that I'm trying to make is, I think that much of mainstream music or secular music, as I have heard it called by people who only listen to Christian rock, actually has a lot of spirituality in it that that Christian rock, yeah, Sunday Bloody Sunday. That's not exactly the reference, but yeah, that Christian rock seems to lack. I mean, Christian rock to me, it's not really rock. Like, rock is something that exists. Sorry, reading comments. Beer Skywalker says Jars of Clay was good back in the day, and the lead singer of that group is now a barber at a hipster joint. Who knew? Whereas Creed, remember Creed? Creed was definitely a Christian band. Creed band, and I think that band is now in like a psychiatric ward or something, right? Didn't it? His name was Scott Stapp, with two P's. Yeah, and I think he wanted to assassinate the president at some point. Anyway, so I looks like Jars of Clay made it out better. Anyway, I think that where Bearded Pipe Smoker is coming from is that Christian rock seems not to rock. And anytime and the reason that it doesn't rock, in fairness here, the reason that it doesn't rock is because of old people. Because Christian rock must be played in church. And there's old people in church. And if you bring out a guitar, they get upset. I've seen it happen time and time again. People used to come to the store and they're like, I really want a really, really awesome guitar. Oh, you want an amp too? No, we're playing at church. I don't need an amp. Oh, okay. You're just going to play your electric guitar. Cool. And, you know, people would always be coming in and asking for drum shields, I don't know, the things that muffle drums for their. Anyway, anytime I've ever seen a rock band play in church, it didn't rock at all, and you could tell that the musicians to rock. but there were little old ladies in the church that would just get too upset if they did and not give their offering that week, and so the church nixed it. Old Greg says Striper was one of the greatest metal bands ever. Rageaholic has a great vid making this point. I'll have to check that out. Who was the other Christian band? Is Skillet the one I'm thinking of? Or Clutch? Maybe it's Clutch. Skillet Clutch. Everybody was into a few years back. It was kind of harder edged. But I don't know. I get so Skillet, yeah, okay, Skillet. My thing is rock and roll is literally analogous to sex. It's like literally that's what the original term rock and roll meant, was sex. And it came from, my understanding is, and I'm sure Beer Beard will correct me if I'm wrong, the term rock and roll came from it grew out of terminology, and in that terminology was for sex. And so if I'm going to listen to a spiritual band play rock music, I don't want the lyrics to then be about like purity or Puritanism. I want there to be some actual conflict and some sensuality to the music. I don't need every song to be AC/DC, but at the same time, a lot of bands that I've heard, they don't actually speak to the human experience. You know what I mean? And that's what I think modern. We're really off the rails on this one. It's an hour and 12 minutes in. We should be, I guess. That's what I think the problem with modern Christianity is that the human experience in ways that it was never meant to. Fireplug says, I never understood Christian rap. I've never even heard Christian rap. I mean, MC Hammer was a Christian, but was it really Christian rap? I don't know. That says a lot about me, right? It's the first person I think of when it comes to rap is MC Hammer. Explains exactly my musical tastes and my socioeconomic position. Disturbed are Christians? Really? DC Talk, that was the other band that played with Jars of Clay. Interesting. DC Talk. Yeah. So, well, that's not true because MC Hammer, I know MC Hammer and the Beastie Boys, like the two whitest rap artists ever. Those are the ones that I know. Yeah. Anyway, Snoop Dogg's pretty good. I don't think. Well, Snoop Dogg's a Christian now, right? Isn't he Snoop Lion? Did I make that up? That sounds like something. Sounds like I took too many sleeping pills one night and had a crazy dream. Snoop Lion. Damn, it's true. Okay. Okay. Whatever. Looks like, man, he hasn't aged a damn day. Look at that guy. Wow. Okay. All right. MC Hammer is a preacher now. Check that out. Okay. Where does he preach? Let's find out. We'll just Google that too. I love Googling stuff while I'm on live video. MC Hammer, whose real name was Stanley Kirk Burrell. Greatest commercials, you can't touch this. Blah, blah, blah. Throughout his career. Wait. Additional business ventures, bankruptcy, personal life. Christian beliefs, pastoral ministry. Pastoral ministry always makes me think of like, it's always very bucolic, it's like ministry in the pasture. But I know that's not what I mean. Anyway, point being. Street ministry. Okay, cool. Lamb of God. I don't know. Really? Lamb of God? I'm familiar with Lamb of God. Oh man, I wish I could show you guys this. How do I? The first thing to pop up is Google Lamb of God. The first thing to pop up is 3 men arrested for stealing Lamb of God's guitars, and the mugshot is just beautiful. It's. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like this before. It's awesome. Okay, well, is Lamb of God a Christian band? All right, I'm going to go ahead. Here's what I'm going to do. We've been at this for an hour and 15 minutes. I don't want to quit, but I want to go ahead and sign off the antisocial part. After this, I'm just hanging out, right? Because all the questions are done. So this has been your Sunday antisocial on a Wednesday night. Thank you for all of your questions. If you have a question for next time, Gribs, leave it down below. And you've done your due diligence as a Gribbly subscriber. You can quit watching now. But I'm going to hang out for a minute because I want to see if Lamb of God really is a Christian band. And I want to hang out with all you guys. We got 17 people in here. Cross-pollinate, blah, 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 blah. Let's go straight to their website. I always thought that Lamb of God was sort of an ironic about. We're just going to search this whole document for Christian. Finding the word Christian. New wave of American metal. Yawn. Wait, when did they get their start? 2003. No, 2000. And their first album was New American Gospel. Virginian Quintet. They're from Virginia, a metal band from Virginia. Okay. Yeah. Right. Not finding anything about whether they're a Christian band, but I'm not really reading it either. So, let's go over to Wikipedia and first hiatus. I mean, they have an album called Burn the Priest. Pretty sure you guys are just messing with me. Okay. Yes, you were messing with me. All right. The chick, the flyleaf. What's up, Contemplative Piper? I just answered all your questions. Are you just now getting here? All right, I'm going to Google flyleaf. I really don't know as much music as I should. Flyleaf, okay. The chick that sings for Flyleaf. Oh. All right. Is Flyleaf a metal band? All right. Here's what we're gonna do. This is gonna be, since you guys are staying after, you get the bonus sneak peek at the new segment of my channel that's gonna be called "That's Not Metal" by Gribbs. Let's look up a Flyleaf song here. I'm probably gonna get copy striked, copy whatever. House is a mainstream Christian band. Yeah, Contemplative Piper. We were expecting you like an hour and 18 minutes ago, buddy. Sorry. Okay, so CS Sparks says Thanos started stealing guitars now and stopped looking for those. Oh, nice. You're referring to the. Okay, cool. Old Greg is out. Yeah, okay. All right. See you on the server, buddy. Hey, we need to do something about all the stuff we produce with the fish farm. Minecraft Insider Talk. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, we need a system for that. It's producing a lot of stuff. All right, Flyleaf. And we'll critique some metal here. I don't know how long I can listen to without getting. Wait, I think I've seen this before. Falsetto doesn't do it for me. Yeah. I hear a major chord in there. That's not metal. Sorry. All right. Well, that was the first segment of That's Not Metal with your boy, Gribbs. What else is going on out there, y'all? Keep me entertained, and I'll keep you entertained. We're down to 14 though, so obviously I'm trending downward. Still need to drink my coffee. Contemplative Piper, you were working all day? That's no excuse. No excuse at all. Let's check Drudge Report while we're waiting for things for me to respond to. Oh, wish I hadn't done that. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ooh. All right. Well, that was futile. Okay. Breyer Report. That's a. Okay. Okay. Beard Skywalker says, "What about Christian hardcore? Can someone tell me why?" Against my better judgment, I'm going to Google that. List of Christian hard. Okay. Christian hardcore refers to hardcore punk bands that promote Christian beliefs. How these bands promote Christianity and to what extent varies between bands. Christian hardcore bands openly state their beliefs and employ Christian imagery. This may be considered part of the Christian music industry. Extol, progressive extreme metal band from Bekusta, Norway. Okay. Norwegian metal band that's into Christianity. This is interesting. Extol developer. Well, it's actually just XTOL, and this is apparently spelled EXTOL. But Extol is a film developer, a chemical, and yeah, okay, interesting. Breyer Report. Let's just go check this out, see what's going on before I sign off here. Okay, contemplative Piper. I can definitely answer that question. Radon. What's up, Over a Pipe? We answered your question not too long ago. And I chided you for questioning my my devotion to the Smashing Pumpkins. Over a Pipe, we have answered more questions than anybody else has ever. 50,000 questions. Nobody answers questions like Gribbs. All right, Grant, have a good night. Bail out the boat and get in the river. Those fish don't catch themselves. That is true. Overpipe, thank you. But I tell you what, you tell me your answer, sir. What is a pumpkin song that contains chimes from your hometown? I'm waiting with bated breath. Actually, I'm just tabbing over the Breyer Report to see what's going on over there. Pipe maker Scott Thiel on something for nothing. Illinois senator proposes tobacco tax hikes. Imagine that. Historic Georgia could become cigar shop. Okay. Famous smoke shop unveils best skirt. Blah, blah, blah. Blah. Prospecting for antique pipe treasures. Peterson announces the pipe of the year. Florida bill to raise tobacco age goes up in smoke. That's good. But I always check and make sure I'm still on the list. Yep, there I am. Okay, back to your comments. Overpipe, you got to give me an answer, man. Your Smashing Pumpkins trivia question. I said 2 songs that I thought might have chimes in them, and I want to see if I was right. Bearded Skywalker, have a good night. Work is indeed overrated. It's really, that's why I never do any of it. Back to Breyer Report. I don't really see anything too breaking newsy over there. Yeah, it's just more bands. More bands. Yawn. Hosts 71st annual regional pipe smoking contest. I guess my invitation was lost in the mail. Pipe smoking as a club was popular in the 50s. So thing. 24 participants representing mid-Michigan and the Grand Rapids area competed to see who could keep their tobacco lit the longest. I would definitely lose that. Absolutely. Huh. Okay. All right. Disarm. Yeah, Disarm was one of the one of the pipes. We've been recording a little too long, y'all. Disarm was one of the songs that I mentioned. Have you, Over a Pipe, ever heard the Smashing Pumpkins song Christmas Time? It also has chimes in it. Doomsday Peepers. Is he a prepper? Billy Corgan's crazy, man. Corgan prepper. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. No, but he's out there. He always was. What do you think of the ever loved and slightly overrated band Skillet? It seems like I've seen Skillet in concert, but that was Skillet or Clutch. Why do I get this? I mean, I guess they both have a kind of a one, single word sort of redneck name, Skillet, Clutch. But I don't think I know enough about Skillet to really give an opinion there. I think I've seen them. And it was Skillet that I saw that night. I got my pocket picked and it sucked, and so I hate them. What do you think? Oh, yeah. Billy Corgan was on Alex Jones, and I watched that, and he wasn't as weird as he could have been, but the fact that he would go on Alex Jones kind of does it for me. Speaking of doing it for me, I think I'm done. I think my voice is probably here in a minute. Oh, wait. If you know where the lead singer of Sevendust is from, you'll know my hometown. I don't know. I mean, I could Google it. Sevendust. I don't know, man. When you name your band after pesticide, it's kind of. I mean, I guess it has its merits, but Raid, Ant Hotel. All right, I'm signing off, y'all. Thank you so much for coming along. The likes now outnumber watchers by 5, so those are like negative Russian bots, I guess. I will see you Sunday, if not before. Thank you for watching. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind. I assume you guys are going to say stuff here, so I'm kind of waiting. Thank you, Over a Pipe. Night, Pipe Tree. Good night, Walter. Good night, Contemplative Piper. And hovering over the button. Where the button is. How do I turn this thing off? Good Lord. It's professional YouTube. Okay, it's right there. Thanks, Danny, and thanks for the pool boy question. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind. Yes, I'm sure I want to end the stream.